The Miami Marlins are a team that a couple years ago, I don't think it was last season, they were making the playoffs, and everyone's like, oh, Jazz Chisholm, everybody they are getting is going to take them to new heights. And even last year, they had Luis Arias, who was batting nearly 400 for most of the year. And everyone thought the Marlins were kind of on the climb, slowly getting out of the rebuild. And then this season comes around. They have 9 wins so far. And as if matters couldn't get much worse, they just traded away their best player in Luis Arias to the Padres for some prospects. No one that's going to come up and be amazing for him yet. So they called up your boy, and I'm going to be attempting to get him a ring. See what we can do. Now, obviously, looking at this Marlins team, our starting pitchers are set. We have a lot of young guys. Yuri Perez as an 89 overall. Sandy Alcantara is an 83. Jesus Luzardo is an 82. AJ Puck is an 82. Braxton Garrett. And then we even have Edward Cabrera that we can kind of move maybe to a relief pitcher or something if we need be. Relief pitchers definitely need some work. We're good on our closer for a couple years with Tanner Scott there. We definitely need a catcher. Definitely someone younger. Josh Bell, I think, is serviceable for at least this season. We definitely need someone. Trey Mancini, we don't have anyone here. Second baseman, John Birdie. Definitely need a second baseman. Jake Berger's going to be fine. He typically progresses pretty well in the few rebuilds that I've watched. Definitely need a shortstop. Might even move Jazz back over to second base or short, depending on what we get. Brian De La Cruz should be all right, or Jesus Sanchez. I did move Luis Arias over to the Padres. I couldn't get the exact offer they were giving me, so I went ahead and just took Jackson Merrill. Obviously, that's kind of a steal, but he will probably be our starting center fielder. Right field definitely needs some work. So we've got a work cut out for us, but we're going to give it a shot. And if we don't succeed, I don't do this often, so I have an excuse. Alright, so the first trade we are going to be making in this video is sending Josh Bell, Sixto Sanchez, and Tim Anderson over to the Royals for Vinny Pasquantino and Michael Garcia. Obviously, both of these guys are going to be instant plug-in players, as I will be looking at trading Jake Berger at some point. Obviously, Josh Bell's making 16 mil, so he is definitely not worth it. Both these guys are basically on their rookie deals, and Sixto Sanchez just didn't really have a place on our squad, only because we have kind of a beefed-up rotation. So that's what we're going to do so far, and I'm going to look and see what other trades I want to make, because we're terrible, so hopefully we can figure something out. Alright guys, so here at the trade deadline, we are going to be picking up the BR legend in Willie Castro and also Griffin Jax. We're giving up Trey Mancini, Nick Gordon, and George Soriano. All three guys that I'm pretty sure are in AAA, so we will 100% take Willie Castro to move over to probably shortstop for us. And I'm kind of looking around at some other people, making some decisions on some of these guys that are on the trade block that I do want to trade for. I think the next guy on my list that I was looking at is going to be to try to go after Spencer Jones, but it's going to completely depend on how much they value him at. Alright guys, so we got a huge trade right here. We're trading Jake Berger, Versailles Garcia, and Christian Bethencourt over to the Guardians for O'Neal Cruz and Bo Naylor. Both of these guys are going to be instant plugins in our lineup. And we have Michael Garcia to replace Jake Berger. He was actually out playing Jake Berger, so I'm not mad about that one bit. So, set the lineup and we'll get rolling. Next, we are going to be getting younger at our closing pitcher and saving some money by sending Tanner Scott and Jonathan Davis over to the Diamondbacks for Camilo Duvall. I guess they traded for Duvall from the Giants and decided, hey, we'll trade him to the Marlins too. So we'll take it. Not arguing about that one bit. So in season number 1, we finished 63 and 99, which was not very good by any means. Get into the off season, and let's, I guess, see what we can do. So we signed Juan Soto to a 15-year deal. I also signed Gleyber Torres to a 5-year deal. Just beat the Yankees offer out. I might trade him or Jazz. Jazz didn't really do too well last year, so I'm not too mad if we have to get rid of him. We also signed Willie Adames. Alright, so here in year number 2, this is what our starting lineup looks like. Way more stacked than last season. I think the only guy that we might be looking to upgrade, well actually here, boom. Willie Castro can play center. I think that's what I was running. Yeah. And then right here. Why did they just completely switch up everything I had just done? That's not cool. Alright. And then the pitching rotation, very similar to last season. And then I obviously have Camilo Duvall. I signed Craig Kimbrell and Matt Moore. I drafted this Andrew Baker guy. He's young. Got Griffin Jacks, Brendan Beck, Trevor Rogers, and then I'll obviously call up Noble Meyer and we'll put him in the bullpen. But hopefully we can do something this season. Alright, y'all, and here in the draft I honestly want to focus on pitchers. So that's probably what we're going to do here. But the only guy that even looks remotely reasonable is this Kevin Gomez. And we can move him into the pen. So that's what we're going to take here. And hopefully he's decent. And that's all I'm really going to do. I'm not good at the drafting part. I really need to start looking into more of this stuff if I plan on doing more rebuilds. So that's what we did. So looking at our stats at the trade deadline, Sandy Alcantara is dealing. AJ Puck is doing quite all right. Even Braxton Garrett's doing great. Trevor Rogers is doing amazing for us. The two guys that are doing absolutely terrible are Yuri Perez and Jesus Luzardo. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to move some guys, which sucks because they're our best players. But that should mean we're going to get something good out of them. Bo Naylor's doing all right, batting 260. Pasquantino's doing what we need him to do. He's hitting bombs, batting 251. Gleyber Torres is having a great year. Willie Castro isn't doing too bad behind him. Jazz is having a great year out there in the outfield, batting 313 with 21 bombs. Michael Garcia isn't doing too bad, batting 289 with 11 stolen bases. O'Neal Cruz and Willie Adames are having great years. 24 homers out of O'Neal and 18 out of Willie Adames. Brian De La Cruz and Jesus Sanchez is amazing. I'm so glad I kept him. Victor Mesa's batting 300, and then Juan Soto's batting 326 with 25 bombs and 74 RBIs. So the team's doing well. We are 56 and 54, which obviously isn't good enough to make the playoffs at this point, probably because two of our best pitchers are terrible. So we're going to see what we can do. So right away, guys, we're going to be trading. Actually, let me see. No, okay. We are going to be moving Yuri Perez over to the Detroit Tigers for Tariq Skubal and Alex Lang. Tariq Skubal is basically the same overall. He is a little older and making a little bit more money, but he is performing a little bit better. So hopefully that can help us out. Now let's see what we can get for Luzardo. Next, we're going to be trading Jesus Luzardo and Joe Mack over to the Rays for Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin typically doesn't perform terrible. So hopefully that will help us out there. Let's go ahead and pitching rotation. We'll throw Skubal in, obviously, as our main guy. And Zach Eflin in for Lang. And there we go. Hopefully that'll do better, as Eflin's having a great year. 10 and 6, 2.5 ERA. Skubal is 7 and 11, but the Tigers are kind of terrible. 3.54 ERA is way better than Yuri's 6. So that's all we're going to do at the trade deadline because we kind of have our players. So let's see. No. Can't afford the contract. Luckily, there's not anyone crazy we need to re-sign, so hopefully we can get some of those guys in the off-season. So this season, we did end up going 79 and 83, which is way better than last season. Hopefully in this next season, the third one, we can win a ship or at least make the playoffs. And if not, we'll pick it up in the next rebuild. We're going to be trading Dalton Rushing, Edmundo Ferreira, and Sam Haggerty for Ryan Mountcastle. And then we're going to be trading Vinny and Carmine Lane for Alex Bregman. They're going to be trading 3 no-namers for Zach Jackson and Mason Miller from the Athletics to try to boost our bullpen, and I think that's all we're going to do. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff, so we're going to give it a shot. All right, guys, and then here in the final season, this is what our lineup is looking like. The only guy that is below an 80 overall is Jesus Sanchez, and actually, now we don't have anybody. I guess Bo Naylor. So we'll see how this goes. In worst case scenario, we'll pick up a catcher. So, and then our pitching rotation, very solid as you can see here. We did lose Zach Eflin, but I'm okay with that because Edward Cabrera is usually very solid. And then our pin, not too bad. Let's give it a go. All right, guys, and then right here, the only position that we really need is a better catcher. So we're going to go ahead and send over Bo Naylor, Brian De La Cruz, and Victor Mesa Jr. to the Mets for Francisco Alvarez. Obviously, Francisco Alvarez is an 88 overall, so he's going to be an instant plug-in for us. And hopefully, that's all we need to do. Let's go ahead and pop him in the lineup here. Why was he there? And they messed my lineup again. All right, and this is what our final lineup's looking like. I did want to point out, guys, I was looking at we're 60-34, which is amazing. But I was looking at our roster, and Sandy Alcantara is 13-0 with a 1.91 ERA. So if we can keep that up, I really hope we can at least make the playoffs because that'd be cool. So let's see. Guys, at the end of season number 3, we finished with a 162 record, which is enough to win our division, and we'll be taking on the winner of this wild card. Let's take a look at our league leaders real quick here. I meant to go to awards. And we got Sandy Alcantara winning the Cy Young. Love to see it. O'Neal Cruz came in second place for the MVP. Obviously Cy Young there. I just want to see if there's any other Marlins here. Alcantara was in second place for the Gold Glove, which is cool. Chisholm was in third for Gold Glove. Michael, Gold Glove, second. Okay. So nothing crazy, but the only thing that matters now is to see who we take on. We are going to be taking on the LA Dodgers here in the divisional round. Let's make sure they didn't mess with my lineup again. Okay, they didn't. Cool. All right, let's take a look at stats real quick. No, that's only going to show playoffs. Never mind. All right. Here in game 1, we got Tariq Skubal taking on Yamamoto, and we win 8-4. Now we got Alcantara taking on Shohei Ohtani. We lose 1-11. Ugh. Next one, AJ Puck takes out Tyler Glasnow, and now we got Edward Cabrera facing off against Bobby Miller, and we take the dub to advance to the NLCS, taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Braxton Garrett here in game 1 taking on Hunter Green. That is a dub, 6-2. Next, we're taking on Nick Lodolo. We win 18-1, y'all. Oof. Jose Barrios here in game 3. We're up 3-0 on the Cincinnati Reds, and we complete the sweep as we advance to the World Series, taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Here in game 1, we win 4-0. Game 2, we win 4-2. Game 3, we're up 3-0 against the Baltimore Orioles as Sandy Alcantara is taking on Kyle Bradish, looking to bring home the ship, and we do it as we win the World Series in year number 3. In only the second MLB the Show rebuild that I've done, we take a ring home with us, and we rebuilt the terrible Miami Marlins. But with that being said, you guys, if you did enjoy that video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are 75 subscribers away from 500 subs. That is huge. We've grown like 40 subscribers in the last week. Thank you guys for all that. Much love to you all. But with that being said, y'all take it easy.